Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW2020 video. Join us for another episode of Dynamite, halfway on the way to Blood and Guts. And we've got 6 pre-show segments and 15 segments, which hopefully gets us closer to that stellar pay-per-view. Let's get straight into it. Let's see how this week's Dynamite does. So this week we are at the West Virginia University Coliseum in front of a sold-out 14,000 fans. Your dark matches, we had Toni Storm with a victory over Cassie in 808 with Strong Zero, bringing a promising 60 rating. We had the recruitment specialists John Silver and Alex Reynolds getting a rare victory as they defeated Mike Sydal and T-Hawk in 7:39 with an enziguri. 38. A lot better than expected, admittedly. We had Priscilla Kelly defeat Gazelle Shaw in 8:27 by pinfall. That was a 48. And we also saw Wardlow defeat Trent Seven, who's in the bad books, in 7:48 with Splash Mountain. 62. We had Will Hobbs defeat Laredo Kid in 7:33 by pinfall. 41. We did have to protect Laredo Kid here, but again giving Hobbs some big victories on Dark. And in the main event we had Jungle Boy defeat Hansen in 7:47 by pinfall, giving us a 71. Now before we start the show I want to clear up a few things. The first day of the incident with Phoenix, we backed him. This brought more of a storm towards us, so we decided to suspend him for a month. And despite clicking that, he was annoyed by it, but he's not suspended, which is weird. So I don't know if it's maybe come up as a fine or whatever, but for some reason he's still available to book, so I don't quite know how that's went down. There will be a lot of wrestlers leaving us as well. Alison Kay's retired, so her contract will go. Maya, the one I can never pronounce, we're going to let her go. We'll monitor her, maybe bring her back. Fire and Flavour are also going to go, and we're going to renew the contracts of Jeff Hardy and Maki Ito. There is a tag team arriving in the next couple of weeks. Actually probably on Lightning in the next episode, but that was purely one that was always going to happen and just waiting to contracts expiring. But I think that's your roundup. So here's the actual show itself. So I opted with a Cody Rhodes promo. It was going to be on Kenny Omega, but Will Ospreay interrupted it, and I just feel like Cody's not had many matches. Ospreay, despite how over he is in this, has been like barely used, and Will just wants to really just tell people, you know, he's back, he's in the best form of his life, and that he can hang with all these top dogs in All Elite Wrestling. So they come to a conclusion. Your main event for this evening, Will Ospreay versus Cody Rhodes, and that's an 87. Pretty stellar start. I then had their abysmal match, Garza Jr. and Humberto Garza defeating Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela in 7:54 with Humberto Garza pinning Sonny Kiss with the tope en reversa. Sonny Kiss is a weak link here, but a 55 gives a good victory to the Garzas, and you can see there Sonny Kiss just a little bit lacking in ring performance to the rest. We then had some 6-man tag action. It was about that had a decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling. As Austin Creed alongside Claudio Castagnoli and Miro defeat the Hangman Posse, in this instance Hangman, Adam Page, the Butcher and the Blade, in 8:40 when Miro submitted the Blade. So a 72 there, Miro off his game, as Miro beginning to be a little bit of a thorn in the side of Adam Hangman Page. We then had a decent matchup that saw Kairi Hojo defeat Lexi in 9:41 with a spear, a 70, so probably one of our better women's matches, but just showing it and cementing herself as a really big threat to Mercedes Varnado. Speaking of which, we get a promo from Mercedes, which is a 67. In this promo she talks about, yeah, Big Wow, Kairi Hojo won, she'll see her off when she can, and Bayley, it's cute that she thinks she can still cling onto the coattails of Mercedes Varnado when it comes to push to shove, but she'll be getting shoved away as well. Nobody in this company can lace the boots of Mercedes Varnado. Then had a good matchup that saw AJ Styles of the New Age Horsemen defeat Matt Jackson of the Elite in 9:01 with a foreign object being used. Now this one only a 73, AJ had a bit of a physical decline, so we had to protect Matt Jackson, hence AJ wouldn't have gained as much, but it's still decent, it's where it is in the card for a reason. And yeah, just one up there for the heel stable at the top. This proceeds to lead to a massive brawl to the back between both factions, obviously missing their relative leaders, Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes, as we see Ace Austin, AJ Styles and Pete Dunne brawl with the Young Bucks and Prince Devitt. I then moved on to a promo from Sir Brodie Lee, and he just says, how dare Adam Cole try and make a name of his expense. Watch closely what I'm about to do to this next opponent, because Adam Cole, when the time is right, that is what is going to happen to you. That was an 85 promo, very solid stuff from Sir Brodie Lee. He took on Matt Sydal and wins in 6:22 thanks to the running big boot. So a 71. Sydal is a very, very capable athlete, but we use him here to put people over, and he makes Brodie Lee come out the match looking good, which is what we need. Then another promo from Chris Jericho, which is also an 85, and he's just talking about what his future holds for in AEW. He says it was a good rivalry with MJF, it was good to help Jungle Boy going forward, but maybe he needs to start focusing on Chris Jericho, and hopefully, as I say, he can get himself back in the picture for some championship gold. This does lead to a interruption from Tommy End. Tommy End just saying you're just another one of these has-beens from elsewhere that just get in the way of people who have came here to make an impact. Nothing better that Tommy End would love to do than to kick Chris Jericho's head right off his shoulders and take his spot in this company. They try and go for each other, security breaks them up, and there we go. Tommy End might actually do something in this save under my management for the first time ever. I might not mishandle him. So Jericho and End look to build it up over the next week or so. There's a good matchup that had Darby Allin defeat Absolute Ricky Starks in 11:45 with the coffin drop. That was an 81. A 92 performance from Darby to a 65 from Ricky Starks, which led to a 2-on-1 beatdown after the match from also the Uprising. So Darby Allin managed to beat Mark Quinn 1 week, Ricky Starks the next, but then Wardlow and MJF decide not in our watch. So an 83 for the beatdown. Darby Allin has got a lot of rivals, shall we say, a lot of enemies, and Wardlow and MJF just added to the left of the full Uprising stable, to be fair. Cody Rhodes then cuts a promo before the main event, just says, Kenny, watch this. You're fighting nearly every time. I'm every so often, but I'm going to show I'm an elite athlete, I'm the top dog, I'm going to be the main man around here. So that was an 83. And him versus Ospreay was exceptional. Probably over delivered, I didn't quite expect it to be that high. But Cody Rhodes defeats Will Ospreay in 22:08, illegally using the ropes for leverage to gather us a 91, which should see some good pop gains. So Ospreay with an 89, Rhodes with an 80. If anything, it shows Ospreay can still go, and Cody Rhodes is truly elite. We finished the show with an 88, which increases our popularity in just 14 regions, but that's good. We don't have as many people broadcasting this show. But yeah, overall very happy with it. A lot of feuds move forward, and looking forward to telling the last chapter of a couple of these feuds before we head to the pay-per-view. So pretty solid stuff all around. So the reason we didn't use, as I say, the Lucha Bros, just in case anything happens again with Phoenix, I are going to cover my backside for that. When we get to the next show, you'll see what we like to do to kind of cover that. We did send a few more people as well to developmental. I should have probably explained that, but the likes of Cody Vance, Griff Garrison, Sadie Gibbs and Zoe Lucas have all went to either the NWA, PWG, or in Cody Vance's case, we sent him to All Japan Pro Wrestling just to kind of, learn the skills. Fantastic reviews, awesome for Dynamite, AEW Heels, people enjoyed the show. A quick rundown of that. We had Chris Statlander defeat Camille, Odette Tai defeat Fire and Flavour, Dr. Britt Baker defeat Lana Austin, and Ashley defeat Nikki Storm in our main event. We also heard from Britt Baker and Anna Jay due to the actions that took place on Lightning. Buddy Murphy will be out for a few days with a scrotal. I wish I didn't read that. TEW2020 continues for another contract, main roster to be fair, and Stu Grayson will get a 75% increase. And 3.50 viewed the show. Perfect. So just to give you an idea, if I can find them quickly, so you can see there with Ray Phoenix, social media storm. Yeah, we've tried to do everything there and it's just not been able to let us do it, so as annoyed, because we say the first one is when we were happy to like back them, and that's when they find them, so confused, but we'll keep using them while we can use them. And he's not under our medical list as someone that we can't use, you can see there, so I'm very confused by that. Quite a crazy amount of people missing at the moment that we can't use, which is crazy. But looking forward to get a lot of these people back, like some Matt Riddle, Lance Archer will be back soon, Kenta, Isaiah Cassidy will be back in just over a month, Eddie Kingston, Brian Pillman Jr. So yeah, it's going to be really hoping to get as many of these back before we go to All Out. But anyway, until then, thank you very much for watching, take it easy, wee thumbs up, deep appreciated, any comments on this, wrestling, whatever, pop it in, I'll get back to you. And until next time for Lightning, I'll see you then, bye bye.